Welcome to a deep dive into AI. You sent over some articles and notes. It seems like you're really trying to figure out what skills you'll need to thrive as AI becomes more commonplace. And it's funny, even the biggest names in tech like Zuckerberg and Musk can't seem to agree on whether AI is going to be the best thing or the worst thing for humanity. So let's dive into what you've been reading and see if we can get some clarity.
Yeah, you're right. The range of opinions is pretty huge. But one thing that seems like everyone agrees on is that AI is here to stay. And it's not something that's coming in the future. It's already here. It's already changing the way that we work, live, and interact with the world.
I have to admit, I feel a little bit like I'm drowning in all this AI talk every day. There's a new app, a new tool, a new breakthrough. It's a bit overwhelming.
Yeah, it's like some experts are calling this AI obesity. It seems like we're just bombarded with all these AI solutions for everything. But are we really thinking about how we're using it? Are we being strategic about it? Are we thinking about the long-term implications? It's kind of like grabbing fast food, right?
Hmm.
It's convenient in the moment, but it's not always the healthiest choice.
Oh, that's a good analogy. So how do we avoid becoming AI obese? How do we move from being passive consumers to actively shaping AI's role in our lives?
Well, one of the big takeaways from everything that you sent over is this idea of a skill shift.
Hmm.
The skills that used to be essential are changing really rapidly.
Hmm.
I mean, think about it. When's the last time that you had to memorize a long list of facts? We've got Google for that now.
Right. So what skills should we be focusing on instead?
Really, it's about adaptability, techno-literacy, and humanness.
Okay, I can see adaptability. We've all had to be really adaptable the past few years. I mean, think about how quickly everyone had to shift to remote work during the pandemic. But what does it even mean to be techno literate? Does that mean that I need to learn how to code?
Not necessarily. It's
Yeah.
more about understanding the basics of how AI works, what it's good at, what its limitations are, and how to use it responsibly. So like, for example, being able to spot a deep fake. Have you ever seen those videos online where it looks like someone is saying or doing something that they never actually did?
Oh, yeah. Those are really creepy, and they're getting harder to spot.
Exactly. And that's where techno-literacy comes in.
Yeah.
You start to develop this sense of what's real and what's been manipulated. You're able to be a more critical consumer of information, especially in this age of all this AI-generated content.
Okay, that makes sense. So adaptability, techno literacy, those are crucial. But what about this humanness thing? How do we become more human in a world that's dominated by technology? It seems kind of counterintuitive.
Yeah, it might sound counterintuitive, but the more that technology advances, the more valuable, uniquely human skills become. Things like creativity, empathy, critical thinking, ethical decision-making. These are things that AI can't replicate, at least not yet.
So you're saying that AI is pushing us to become more human, not less?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's forcing us to hone the skills that set us apart from machines, the things that make us well us.
I love that. So this is all really fascinating, but it still feels a little bit theoretical. How do we put these ideas into practice? What are the concrete steps that we can take to prepare ourselves for this AI-powered future?
Well, one practical approach is to start building what you might call your AI tech stack. And basically what that means is it's a set of tools and resources that can help you to leverage AI, to boost your productivity, creativity, and your overall effectiveness. It's about finding ways to work smarter, not harder, and to free up your time and mental energy for the things that truly matter to you.
I love that idea. Working smarter, not harder. That's definitely my motto. But even thinking about building a tech stack makes my head spin a little bit. Where do we even begin?
That's a good point. Before we even jump into looking at specific tools,
Mhm.
it's important to think about what are you actually trying to achieve? What are your goals? What are your biggest pain points? What are the tasks that are eating up your time and energy?
That's a really good point. It's easy to get so caught up in the excitement of all the new technology and forget to ask ourselves, what do I actually need this for?
Exactly. Once you have a clear understanding of what you're trying to accomplish and what your needs are, then you can start to look at different AI tools that align with those objectives. And remember, there's no one-size-fits-all solution here. It's about finding what works best for you.
So it's about being really intentional and strategic,
Yeah,
not just jumping on the latest AI bandwagon because it sounds cool.
got it.
So once we know what we're trying to achieve, what are some of the actual tools that we can use? What does an AI tech stack actually look like?
That's a great question, and one that we'll dive into a lot more deeply in the next part of our deep dive. Get ready to explore some seriously cool AI tools that can help you automate tasks, generate content, and even boost your creativity.
Okay, I am intrigued. I can't wait to see what's in store for part 2 of our AI adventure. Okay, so we've laid the groundwork, and now I'm ready to get into the nitty-gritty of this AI tech stack. What are some specific AI tools that we could be using to help us level up our skills and work smarter?
Well, let's start with something that I think probably most people do every day. taking notes. There are some incredible AI-powered note-taking apps out there that can totally change how you capture information and organize it. Imagine if your meetings were automatically transcribed and tagged so you could instantly find the key points later. Or what if the app could just generate summaries of long documents for you? That would be amazing.
Wait, automatically transcribe meetings. I'm already sold. I can't tell you how many hours I've spent trying to decipher my own handwriting. What else can these AI tools do?
Well, think about all those little tasks that eat up your time every day, like scheduling appointments, sending emails, updating spreadsheets. A lot of that could be automated with AI. There are tools that can handle those kinds of repetitive tasks for you, so then you have more mental bandwidth for more creative and strategic work.
Okay, I'm starting to really see the appeal of this AI tech stack. It's almost like having a personal assistant that never sleeps. But where does creativity fit into all of this? Can AI really help us to be more creative?
Yeah, that's where things get really interesting. AI is actually starting to play a pretty big role in content creation. There are tools that can help you come up with ideas, write different kinds of content like articles, social media posts, even scripts, and some of them can even help you compose music or create visual art.
Wow, that's kind of mind-blowing. But I have to admit, part of me is a little bit hesitant about that. Does this mean that AI is going to replace human creativity?
That's a valid concern. I think it's more of a collaboration than a replacement. AI can be a really powerful tool for brainstorming or for generating variations on a theme or even just for helping you to get over writer's block. But at the end of the day, it's still the human who's bringing that unique perspective, the emotional depths, the artistic vision.
So AI is more like a creative partner, can help us to kind of push our own boundaries and explore new possibilities. I like that. What about some other areas? Where are some other places where AI tools can be helpful?
Oh, well, think about translation. AI-powered translation tools have gotten incredibly good. So you can communicate with people from all over the world and access information in all kinds of different languages. It's breaking down communication barriers like we've never seen before.
That's huge, especially as the world becomes increasingly interconnected. So we've got note-taking, task automation, content creation, translation. What other kinds of tools should we be aware of?
Those are some of the big categories. But honestly, there are tons of specialized AI tools coming out all the time. It really just depends on what your needs are and what your interests are. The most important thing is to just stay curious, explore what's out there, and see what works for you. Remember, this AI journey is about finding the tools and resources that help you to do your best work.
This is a lot to take in, but it's really exciting. I feel so much more confident about being able to navigate this AI-powered future. But before we wrap up this part of the deep dive, I have a question that I keep coming back to. We've been talking about all the benefits of AI, but are there any potential downsides that we should be aware of?
That's a really important question. It's true that the potential benefits of AI are enormous, but it's crucial to acknowledge that any powerful technology comes with certain risks and challenges. We can't just assume that everything's going to be rosy. We have to approach AI with a critical eye. We have to think about its limitations and the potential for unintended consequences.
Okay, so what are some of the things that we should be watching out for?
Well, one potential risk is that we become over-reliant on AI. It's easy to fall into that trap of thinking that AI has all the answers, that it's always right, that it can solve any problem. But ultimately, AI is still just a tool. And we need to remember that it's only as good as the data that it's trained on and the humans who are using it.
That makes sense. We can't just blindly trust AI. We need to use our own judgment and critical thinking skills to evaluate what it's telling us. What else should we be thinking about?
Another thing to consider is the potential for AI to be used in ways that are harmful or unethical. So, for example, AI-powered surveillance systems could be used to invade people's privacy or discriminate against certain groups. We have to be aware of these risks and really advocate for responsible and ethical development and use of AI.
So it's not just about understanding the technical side of AI, it's about the bigger social and ethical implications as well.
Exactly. We need to have conversations about how to make sure that AI is being used for good and not for harm. And that's why it's so important to stay informed and engage in those conversations and to demand transparency and accountability from the people who are developing and deploying these technologies.
So we need to be cautious, critical, and engaged. But overall, it sounds like you're pretty optimistic about the future of AI.
I am cautiously optimistic. I believe that AI has the potential to make our world a much better place in so many ways. But it's up to us to guide its development in a direction that benefits all of humanity. And I really believe that if we plan carefully and think things through and commit to ethical principles, we can create a future where AI helps us live healthier, more productive, and more meaningful lives.
That's a vision worth striving for. In the final part of our deep dive, we're going to shift gears a little bit and explore some of the most exciting and transformative possibilities of AI. Get ready for a glimpse into the future.
Yeah.
I'm ready for that glimpse into the future, you promise. We've talked about the skills that we need and the tools that we can use, but what are some of those big, really game-changing possibilities that AI might unlock? It's kind of hard to even imagine.
Yeah, no, it's really exciting because it feels like we're just scratching the surface of what might be possible. One area that I think has a ton of potential is healthcare. So AI could help doctors to diagnose diseases earlier and more accurately, and to personalize treatment plans based on someone's unique genetic makeup. And it could even help to develop new life-saving drugs and therapies much faster than we ever could before.
That's incredible. It almost sounds too good to be true. Are there any areas where you think AI might fall short of the hype?
Well, it's important to remember that AI is a tool. It's not magic.
Yeah.
It's not going to solve every problem overnight.
Okay.
And there will definitely be challenges along the way. But I think that the potential for positive impact is huge, especially in areas like healthcare education and sustainability.
Okay, let's dive into those a little bit more. What might AI-powered education look like?
Well, just imagine a world where every student has access to a personalized learning experience that's tailored to their own individual needs and learning style. So AI tutors could provide real-time feedback and support and help students to master concepts at their own pace. And online learning platforms could become even more engaging and accessible, reaching students in even the most remote parts of the world.
So instead of having this one-size-fits-all approach to education, it could become truly personalized. So every student has the opportunity to reach their full potential. That's a really powerful idea. What about sustainability? How can AI help us to tackle some of the biggest environmental challenges that we're facing?
So AI can play a crucial role in helping us develop smarter energy grids, and it can help us optimize resource allocation, and it can even help us monitor and predict environmental changes. Imagine using AI to develop more sustainable agricultural practices, or reduce waste, or even to predict and mitigate the effects of natural disasters.
So it really feels like we're talking about solutions on a global scale. It's both exciting and a little daunting to think about the sheer scope of what AI might be capable of.
It is daunting, but it's also incredibly inspiring.
Yeah.
We have a real opportunity here to use this technology to create a better future for ourselves and for generations to come. But we need to be thoughtful about it. We need to be intentional about how we develop and deploy AI and make sure that it aligns with our values and that it's actually serving the greater good.
You know, throughout this whole deep dive, I keep coming back to this idea of human agency. It's so easy to get caught up in thinking about AI as this all-powerful force that's just going to take over. But at the end of the day, it's a tool that we control. We get to decide how we're going to use it, what values we're going to embed in it, and what kind of future we want to create with it.
I completely agree. The future of AI isn't predetermined. It's being written right now. And we all have a role to play in shaping that future, whether you're a technologist, a policymaker, or just someone who's curious about this stuff. You have a voice in this conversation. Stay informed, engage in the debate, and demand that AI is developed and used in a way that benefits all of humanity.
That's a powerful message to end on. This has been such an eye-opening deep dive into the world of AI. I feel like I've gone from feeling overwhelmed to feeling empowered and excited about what the future holds.
It's been great exploring these ideas with you. Remember, this is just the beginning of your AI journey. Stay curious, keep learning, and never stop imagining the possibilities.
Thank you so much for guiding us through this deep dive. And to you, our listener, we hope this exploration has sparked your curiosity and that you feel more equipped to navigate the AI-powered future with confidence and purpose.